Hello, this is Thalia Everhart, and you are listening to Manifesting Mastery, your abundance audiobook provided to you by United Audiobooks. I hope you enjoy my audiobook. Now let us begin.
Introduction. The universe is not outside of you. Look inside yourself. Everything that you want, you already are. Rumi. This audiobook represents the culmination of a journey, one that began with my own frustrations and evolved into a passionate exploration of how we create our realities. Like you, I once stood at the crossroads of skepticism and hope, wondering if the promise of manifestation was merely wishful thinking or a genuine pathway to transformation. The answer, as I discovered through years of research, practice, and teaching, is far more nuanced and powerful than I could have imagined. Manifesting mastery emerged from a simple observation. While interest in manifestation continues to grow exponentially, genuine understanding remains elusive. Too often, we're left with vague instructions to think positive or visualize success, without the crucial frameworks that make these practices effective. The gap between concept and application has left many feeling disillusioned or worse, believing they somehow lack the special gift needed to manifest effectively. This couldn't be further from the truth. Beyond the mystique. I still remember Sarah, a workshop participant who approached me with tears in her eyes after months of diligently creating vision boards and repeating affirmations with minimal results. "Am I doing something wrong?" she asked. "Or is manifestation just not meant for people like me?" Her question echoed the sentiments I'd heard countless times, and once harbored myself. It highlighted the critical missing pieces in how manifestation is commonly taught. The absence of scientific grounding, practical application, and personalized alignment. Then there was Michael, a successful entrepreneur who dismissed manifestation as new age fluff, until financial setbacks forced him to reconsider his relationship with abundance. His transformation began not with embracing mysticism, but with understanding how his unconscious beliefs of wealth were literally rewiring his brain to sabotage his success. These stories, and hundreds more like them, revealed a profound need for a resource that bridges the gap between ancient wisdom and modern science, between spiritual practice and practical results. The science of creating reality. What you won't find in this audiobook are empty promises or secret formulas that work for a select few. Instead, I've distilled research from neuroscience, quantum physics, and psychology alongside time-tested spiritual practices to create a comprehensive approach to manifestation that works consistently when applied with understanding and intention. You'll discover how the reticular activating system in your brain filters reality based on your dominant thoughts, why emotional resonance amplifies your manifesting potential far more than logical planning alone, and how simple shifts in language can restructure your entire experience of reality. This journey wouldn't have been possible without the brilliant minds whose research has illuminated the mechanisms behind manifestation. Dr. Joe Dispenza's groundbreaking work on neuroplasticity, Lynn McTaggart's fascinating studies on intention, and the quantum physicists who continue to reveal how conscious interactions with matter at the most fundamental levels. I'm equally indebted to the thousands of students who've tested these methods in laboratories of real life, providing invaluable feedback that refined these techniques into their most effective forms. Their successes from health transformations to career breakthroughs, from financial abundance to profound spiritual awakening, provide the living proof that these principles transcend theory. Your path forward. Whether you're approaching manifestation with cautious curiosity or returning after past disappointments, know that you've found a different kind of guide. The path ahead doesn't require blind faith or extraordinary talent, only your willingness to engage with these concepts both intellectually and experientially. The techniques you'll learn are designed to integrate seamlessly into your life, requiring minutes rather than hours, and producing noticeable shifts from the very beginning. You'll build a personalized manifestation practice that honors your unique energy, circumstances, and goals. I'm profoundly grateful that out of all the resources available to you, you've chosen to explore this path with me. Your presence here is no accident. It represents a readiness for transformation that deserves to be honored and supported. As we embark on this journey together, I invite you to approach this journey with both an open mind and healthy discernment. Question everything. Test what resonates, and make these teachings your own. The true mastery of manifestation lies not in following someone else's system perfectly, but in discovering the unique frequency at which your own consciousness creates reality. Let's begin. The life you're meant to create is waiting. Align your energy. Amplify your results. Have you ever wondered why some manifestation techniques work beautifully for others, but seem to stall for you? I've been there too. Practicing the visualizations, repeating the affirmations, waiting for the universe to respond, and still feeling that quiet frustration when results stayed just out of reach. Through years of study and practice, I discovered that the difference is not luck or talent. It is alignment. When your energy, emotions, and mindset operate in harmony, manifestation stops feeling like effort and starts becoming your natural state. To help you bridge the gap between knowledge and energetic alignment, I have collaborated with Books for Growth to bring you the free What is Your Psychological Archetype quiz. This transformative self-discovery experience reveals how your unique mindset and emotional frequency influence what you attract. It offers practical, personalized insights that show you where your manifestation energy is already strong and where subtle shifts can unlock extraordinary results. Your next breakthrough doesn't require more striving. It begins with understanding how your energy shapes your reality. Start manifesting from a place of true alignment and inner mastery by taking the quiz at quiz.books4growth.com. That's quiz.books4growth.com. Again, quiz.books4growth.com. Chapter 1. The Science Behind the Spirit. Beyond Wishing, where science meets the secret power of intention. The skepticism you feel is perfectly natural. Perhaps you've tried visualizing your desired outcomes only to face disappointment. Or maybe you've dismissed manifestation as pseudoscience that promises miracles without substance. What if I told you that the bridge between what you want and what you achieve isn't built solely on wishful thinking, but on a foundation that marries the mystical with the measurable? At its core, manifestation isn't about magical thinking. It's about understanding the profound interplay between your inner world and your external reality. The power to shape your circumstances exists at the intersection of spiritual wisdom and scientific principles, an intersection that's often misunderstood or overlooked entirely. This chapter strips away the confusion surrounding manifestation by revealing how quantum physics, neuroscience, and psychology validate what ancient spiritual traditions have taught for millennia. Many approach manifestation as either entirely spiritual, disconnected from reality, or dismiss it as completely unscientific. Both perspectives miss the remarkable truth. Your thoughts and beliefs create measurable changes in your brain chemistry, your behaviors, and ultimately the world around you. The neuroplasticity of your brain, its ability to recognize and form new neural connections, responds directly to your focused intentions. When you understand how to leverage this responsiveness, you begin to access manifestation's true potential. We've all experienced moments when our deepest beliefs seem to materialize before our eyes, whether positive or negative. This isn't a coincidence. It's evidence of the principles we'll explore throughout Manifesting Mastery. From understanding the reticular activating system that filters what you noticed in your environment, to exploring how quantum field theory suggests observer effects, this audiobook will equip you with both the knowledge and practical techniques to transform abstract concepts into tangible results. In the coming chapters, we'll move from the scientific foundation to explore practical applications that generate real-world abundance. You'll discover how to recognize and release limiting beliefs that block your manifestation abilities, master energy alignment techniques that amplify your intentions, and develop daily practices that turn occasional success into consistent transformation. Rather than offering vague promises, we'll provide clear frameworks that bridge intuitive wisdom with actionable steps. The journey of manifestation mastery begins with understanding, not blind faith. By examining the dual nature of manifestation, integrating both spiritual insights and scientific evidence, we create a balanced approach that honors both the seen and unseen aspects of reality. This chapter will dismantle common myths about manifestation, replacing confusion with clarity and establishing a realistic framework for your personal growth. As we explore how psychological principles and quantum physics contribute to manifestation, you'll gain confidence in your innate ability to consciously create the life you desire. The greatest barrier to successful manifestation isn't your capability, it's misconception. When you recognize that manifestation operates through natural laws rather than magical thinking, you unlock a practical path to transformation. Through this audiobook, you'll develop mastery of these principles, moving from confusion to clarity, from sporadic success to consistent creation. The science behind the spirit isn't about providing the unprovable. It's about understanding the mechanisms through which intention becomes reality, learning to work with these mechanisms rather than against them. Let's begin by examining the evidence that connects your thoughts to your experiences, the science that supports spiritual wisdom, and the practical framework that makes manifestation not just possible, but inevitable when approached with understanding and skill. The invisible thread between thought and reality. Emily Morgan sat at her desk by the window, staring at the half-finished vision board that mocked her with its incompleteness. Outside, rain pelted against the glass, creating streaks that distorted the city skyline beyond. The gray afternoon matched her mood, uncertain, wavering between hope and skepticism. "This is ridiculous," she thought, running her fingers over the magazine cutouts of a home by the sea, a thriving business, and the word abundance in bold letters. 2 weeks ago, after losing her job at the marketing firm, her friend Sophia had pressed a book about manifestation into her hands with the assurance that it could change everything. Now, Emily wasn't so sure. The apartment felt smaller than usual today. She could hear her neighbor's television through the thin walls, the constant drone of traffic below, and the rhythmic dripping from the kitchen faucet she'd been meaning to fix. Emily pushed back from her desk and walked to the bookshelf, pulling out the dog-eared manifestation book. She flipped to a highlighted passage about quantum physics and the observer effect. Something about thoughts influencing particles at a subatomic level. The author had bridged science and spirituality in a way that initially seemed compelling, but doubt now crept through the cracks of her understanding. Emily remembered Dr. Reeves, her old physics professor, who would have scoffed at such interpretations. Yet she also recalled the times in her life when her strongest beliefs had somehow materialized. Landing her dream internship in college after visualizing it for months. Meeting her ex-husband at the exact coffee shop she'd written about in her journal. Were these coincidences, or something more? The rain intensified outside, drumming a chaotic pattern that matched her scattered thoughts. She closed her eyes and practiced the breathing technique from Chapter 3, trying to align her mind with what the book called universal frequencies. The phone rang, startling her. It was a recruiter for a position she'd applied for weeks ago. A job that aligned perfectly with the career goals she had pasted onto her vision board. As Emily scheduled the interview, a strange warmth spread across her chest. She'd been thinking about this specific company just this morning during her meditation. Her gaze drifted to the vision board, to the rain-streaked window, and back to the book in her hand. The boundary between coincidence and causation blurred before her eyes. After hanging up, Emily stood before her vision board with fresh eyes. She traced her fingers over the images, not just pictures cut from magazines anymore, but possibilities vibrating with potential energy. The rain had stopped, and weak sunlight broke through the clouds, casting a golden rectangle across her floor. She thought about the dual nature of light, both particle and wave, existing in states of probability until observed. Perhaps her thoughts worked the same way, collapsing probability into reality through the act of focused intention. What if the barrier between mind and matter was thinner than science had led us to believe? What if our conscious intentions rippled outward through reality like stones thrown into still water, creating patterns that only became visible when we learned how to look? The convergence of science and spirit. Manifestation exists at the fascinating intersection of ancient wisdom and modern science. For centuries, spiritual traditions across cultures have recognized the power of intention, energy alignment, and consciousness in shaping reality. These teachings weren't mere superstitions, but sophisticated systems for understanding how our inner world influences our outer world. Today, emerging scientific fields are beginning to validate what mystics have always known. Our thoughts and beliefs can profoundly impact our physical reality. Imagine a river with two distinct tributaries flowing into it, one carrying the clear waters of empirical science, the other the deep currents of spiritual wisdom. Where they meet, they don't fight for dominance, but blend into something more complete than either could be alone. This is the true nature of manifestation, not purely mystical nor strictly material, but a harmonious integration of both perspectives that creates a more complete understanding. The scientific community has historically dismissed manifestation as pseudoscience, lacking empirical evidence. However, recent advances in fields like neuroplasticity, epigenetics, and quantum physics have begun revealing mechanisms that could explain how our thoughts and beliefs might influence outcomes in our lives. These discoveries don't undermine spiritual perspectives, but rather provide a complementary framework through which we can understand the same phenomena. When we approach manifestation with both spiritual openness and scientific curiosity, we develop a more robust toolkit for personal transformation. The spiritual lens offers us profound insights about consciousness, intention, and energetic connection, while science provides structured methodologies, evidence-based practices, and measurable results. Together, they create a powerful synergy that transcends the limitation of either approach in isolation. This integration isn't always comfortable. Many spiritual practitioners resist scientific examination of their beliefs, fearing it might diminish the magic or mystery of their practices. Similarly, many scientists remain skeptical of anything that hints at spiritual or consciousness-based phenomena. Yet, the most significant growth happens at the edge of discomfort, where we're willing to hold seemingly contradictory ideas in mind simultaneously. Consider how meditation, once considered purely spiritual, has been validated through thousands of scientific studies confirming its benefits for brain health, stress reduction, and emotional regulation. This hasn't diminished meditation's spiritual significance. Instead, it has made its benefits accessible to millions who might otherwise have dismissed it. The same integration is now happening with manifestation practices. The dual nature of manifestation invites us to be both mystics and scientists in our own lives, to pray and hypothesize, to surrender and experiment, to trust and verify. This integrated approach allows us to navigate between the Scylla of blind faith and the Charybdis of cold materialism, finding a middle path that honors both the mystery of consciousness and the rigor of empirical observation. The most powerful manifestation occurs when we honor both the spiritual and scientific aspects of reality, allowing them to inform and strengthen each other rather than compete. The psychology and physics of possibility. Our minds are powerful reality-filtering mechanisms. Psychological research on confirmation bias shows that we naturally seek information that confirms our existing beliefs, while filtering out contradictory evidence. When we believe something is impossible, our brains literally screen out opportunities and possibilities that don't match this expectation. Conversely, when we believe something is possible, we become attuned to resources, connections, and pathways that can help us achieve it. This isn't mystical thinking, it's documented cognitive science. How many opportunities have you missed simply because your beliefs told you they weren't possible? The reticular activating system, RAS, in your brain acts as a gatekeeper, determining what information from your environment deserves your conscious attention. When you set an intention to manifest something specific, you're essentially reprogramming your RAS to notice relevant opportunities that might otherwise have gone undetected in the vast sea of sensory information. Quantum physics has revolutionized our understanding of reality at the subatomic level, revealing a world where particles exist in states of probability until observed. The famous double-slit experiment demonstrates that the mere act of observation can collapse these probability waves into definite states. While we must be careful not to oversimplify or misapply these concepts, they do suggest that consciousness and reality are more intricately connected than classic physics would have us to believe. Think of manifestation as gardening in the quantum field of possibilities. You plant seeds of intention in fertile soil, nurture them with attention and aligned action, and trust in both your efforts and the natural unfolding of growth processes that extend beyond your conscious control. Some seeds will flourish, while others may not. But the skillful gardener learns from each season, adjusting their approach based on results while maintaining an unwavering belief in the fundamental fertility of life. Neuroplasticity, The brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections provides another scientific foundation for manifestation practices. When we consistently direct our thoughts towards specific goals and visualize their achievement, we strengthen neural pathways associated with those outcomes. Professional athletes have used the principle for decades through visualization techniques that literally train their brain to perform better, even without physical practice. The brain does not know the difference between an actual physical event and the vivid visualization of the same event, explains Dr. Maxwell Maltz, author of Psycho-Cybernetics. This insight has profound implications for manifestation work. By vividly experiencing desired outcomes in our imagination, we may be creating neural templates that make those outcomes more likely when similar circumstances arise in physical reality. The placebo effect offers perhaps the most compelling scientific evidence for manifestation principles. In clinical trials, patients receiving sugar pills, or sham sugaries, often experience real physiological improvements simply because they believe they're receiving effective treatment. This isn't imagination. Brain scans show actual changes in neural activity and biochemistry. If belief alone can create physical changes in the body, what other aspects of our reality might be influenced by our deeply held convictions? Epigenetics, the study of how behaviors and environment can cause changes in gene expression, has shown that our thoughts and experiences can actually modify how our DNA operates without changing the underlying genetic code. Chronic stress can silence genes that support immunity, while practices like meditation can activate genes associated with well-being. These discoveries suggest that our internal state literally shapes our biological reality at the molecular level. Studies on psychoneuroimmunology have demonstrated that positive emotional states can enhance immune function, while negative states can suppress it. The mind-body connection extends beyond simple correlation. Specific visualization practices have been shown to increase antibody production and enhance natural killer cell activity. When we cultivate thoughts, emotions, and beliefs aligned with our desired manifestations, we may be creating the precise biological conditions necessary for those manifestations to take form. The emerging field of biofield science is investigating the electromagnetic and quantum fields generated by and surrounding living organisms. These subtle energy fields appear to carry information that influences cellular function and may provide mechanisms for understanding energy healing modalities that have long been dismissed by conventional medicine. As our science instruments become more sensitive, we're beginning to detect and measure phenomena that bridge the gap between spiritual energy concepts and physical reality. What if the greatest limitation on your manifestation potential isn't the universe's abundance, but rather the boundaries you've placed on what you believe is scientifically possible? Dismantling manifestation misconceptions. Manifestation is not a supernatural vending machine. Perhaps the most damaging misconception about manifestation is that it works like placing an order with the universe. Visualize what you want, feel good about it, and wait for delivery. This oversimplification ignores the crucial role of aligned action, personal growth, and the complex interplay of collective consciousness that shapes our shared reality. True manifestation involves partnership with life, not passive consumption of it. Reality creation involves a dynamic dance between our conscious intentions and unconscious beliefs. Many manifestation efforts fail because they address only the surface level of desire without examining the deeper beliefs that may contradict those desires. You might consciously want financial abundance, while subconsciously believing that money corrupts people or that you don't deserve wealth. These hidden beliefs act like invisible counterweights, negating your manifestation efforts regardless of how many affirmations you repeat. The misconception that manifestation requires constant positivity has created unnecessary suffering for many seekers. Spiritual traditions that emphasize high vibration states often inadvertently promote toxic positivity, the denial or suppression of authentic emotional experiences deemed negative. True manifestation work embraces the full spectrum of human emotion, recognizing that genuine emotional processing is essential for alignment with our desires. Suppressed emotions become energetic blockages that actually impede manifestation. Consider manifestation like learning to sail rather than controlling the weather. A skilled sailor doesn't command the wind, but learns to work with it, adjusting the sails, understanding the currents, and developing the wisdom to navigate changing conditions. Similarly, effective manifestation isn't about forcing reality to bend to our will, but about developing the awareness and flexibility to navigate life's currents while maintaining direction toward our chosen destination. Another common myth portrays manifestation as an individual endeavor, isolated from social and systematic realities. This perspective ignores the profound impact of collective consciousness, cultural conditioning, and societal structures on our manifestation experiences. We exist within complex webs of relationships and shared reality creation. Acknowledging these interconnections doesn't diminish our manifestation power, but grounds it in a more complete understanding of how reality actually forms. The Dual Nature Model of Manifestation, DNMM. The Foundation, Integrative Consciousness. The dual nature model of manifestation begins with integrative consciousness, the capacity to simultaneously hold scientific and spiritual perspectives without either diminishing the other. This foundation requires intellectual humility, recognizing that both materialistic science and spiritual wisdom contain partial truths that, when combined, create a more complete picture of reality. Integrative consciousness isn't about compromise, but about expansion, widening our perception to embrace seemingly contradictory viewpoints as complementary aspects of a more complex truth. Developing integrative consciousness involves cultivating both critical thinking and intuitive awareness. The critical mind examines evidence, questions assumptions, and seeks logical consistency, while intuitive awareness accesses deeper knowing that exists beyond rational thought. These capacities aren't opposed, but synergistic. The critical mind prevents spiritual bypassing and magical thinking, while intuition prevents rigid materialism and connects us to meaning beyond measurable data. Component 1. The Spiritual Dimension. The spiritual dimension of manifestation encompasses our relationship with consciousness, energy, and non-physical aspects of reality. This component includes practices like meditation, energy alignment, and connecting with higher guidance. From this perspective, manifestation works through attunement with universal intelligence and the alignment of personal energy with desired outcomes. The law of attraction operates within this dimension, responding to the magnetic pull of our energetic frequency rather than merely our thoughts. Spiritual manifestation practices focus on inner states, developing present moment awareness, releasing resistance, cultivating gratitude, and nurturing faith in possibilities beyond current evidence. These practices aren't about manipulating external reality, but about shifting our relationship with existence itself, recognizing our role as co-creators rather than passive recipients of circumstance. The spiritual dimension embraces mystery and allows for phenomena not yet explained by current scientific paradigms. Component 2. The scientific dimension. The scientific dimension grounds manifestation in observable processes and evidence-based practices. This component includes psychological principles like cognitive restructuring, neuroplasticity, and behavioral activation. From the perspective, manifestation works through shifting perception, creating new neural pathways, and taking consistent actions aligned with desired outcomes. The scientific dimension provides structure, methodology, and measurable feedback to manifestation efforts. Scientific manifestation practices focus on concrete steps, setting clear goals, creating implementation intentions, tracking progress, and adjusting strategies based on results. These practices provide the practical bridge between inner vision and outer reality, transforming spiritual insights into material outcomes through consistent, intelligent action. The scientific dimension embraces empirical evidence and works with established understanding of natural laws while remaining open to expanding that understanding. The integration zone, where science and spirit meet. The integration zone is where the magic happens, where spiritual insight informs scientific approach, and where scientific discovery deepens spiritual practice. In this zone, we recognize that meditation isn't just spiritual, but also changes brain structure, that gratitude isn't just a nice sentiment, but triggers measurable biochemical changes, that visualization isn't just wishful thinking, but neural pattern rehearsal. This integration transforms manifestation from either wishful thinking or mechanical materialism into a comprehensive approach to conscious creation. Practices in the integration zone include evidence-based spiritual techniques and approaches that honor the non-material aspects of existence while employing structured methodologies and measurable outcomes. Examples include heart coherence practices that combine emotional attunement with biofeedback technology, or guided visualizations that incorporate the latest neuroscience on effective mental rehearsal. These integrated approaches amplify manifestation power by engaging both belief systems and biological systems simultaneously. Dynamic application. The manifestation cycle. The DNMM operates through a continuous cycle of intention, attention, action, and reflection. Intention sets direction through clarity of desire and purpose. Attention directs energy and awareness toward the intention, activating both psychological and subtle energy mechanisms. Action transforms potential into kinetic movement, creating tangible steps toward manifestation. Reflection evaluates results, integrates learning, and refines the approach for the next cycle. This cyclical process isn't rigid, but fluid, with each component influencing all others in a dynamic feedback system. Spiritual insights during reflection might reshape intention. Scientific observations during action might redirect attention. The model functions as an adaptive learning system rather than a linear formula, becoming increasingly refined through experience and application. Practical implementation. Balanced manifestation practice. Implementing the DNMM involves developing balanced practices that honor both dimensions. A spiritually biased practitioner might need to strengthen the scientific component by adding structured goal setting, tracking systems, and accountability measures. A scientifically biased practitioner might need to develop the spiritual component through meditation, energy awareness, and cultivating deeper trust in nonlinear processes. Balanced manifestation practice includes both internal and external work, shifting beliefs, emotions, and energy patterns while also taking concrete actions in the material world. It embraces both surrender and effort, recognizing when to allow universal timing and when to assert personal agency. This balance prevents both passive wishful thinking and exhausting over-control, creating a sustainable manifestation practice that honors both mystery and mechanism. The science of spirit isn't about proving or disproving manifestation through narrow materialistic frameworks, but about expanding our understanding of reality to include both measurable phenomena and the unmeasurable consciousness that perceives it. By integrating spiritual wisdom with scientific inquiry, we create a manifestation approach that is both mystically profound and practically effective, honoring the dual nature of existence itself while providing a realistic framework for personal growth that avoids both naive magical thinking and limiting materialistic skepticism. The art of practical mysticism. Manifestation isn't just about getting things. It's about becoming someone new. When we understand both the scientific and spiritual dimensions of manifestation, we recognize the process itself is transformative, regardless of external outcomes. Every manifestation attempt reconfigures our neural pathways, shifts our energy patterns, and expands our consciousness. The journey of becoming a masterful manifester is ultimately about developing practical mysticism, the ability to dance at the intersection of visible and invisible realms. The most powerful manifestation occurs at the edge of your comfort zone, the sweet spot between what you can currently imagine and what stretches your belief system. The edge is different for everyone. For some, believing in basic self-improvement might be a stretch. For others, contemplating psychic abilities or non-local consciousness might be the growing edge. The dual nature model respects these individual differences, encouraging each person to expand their manifestation capacity gradually rather than forcing beliefs that feel inauthentic or overwhelming. Manifestation mastery requires developing both surrender and sovereignty, knowing when to release attachment to outcomes and when to assert clear boundaries and intentions. This paradoxical skill comes through practice, not theory. As you work with both the scientific and spiritual dimensions of manifestation, you'll develop an intuitive sense of which approach serves best in any given situation. Sometimes the most potent manifestation comes through letting go completely. Other times it requires focused determination and strategic action. As quantum physicist and philosopher David Bohm observed, thought creates our world, and then says, "I didn't do it." This profound insight captures the essence of manifestation. We are constantly creating our experience through our perceptions, interpretations, and beliefs, yet we rarely recognize our role in this creation. By embracing both the scientific evidence for how our minds shape reality and the spiritual wisdom of conscious creation, we reclaim our power as manifestors while maintaining the humility to recognize that we co-create within a vast, intelligent universe that far exceeds our individual understanding. Bridging science and spirit, where manifestation truly lives. As we explored through this chapter, manifestation isn't merely wishful thinking or magical belief. It's a practical process grounded in both spiritual wisdom and scientific understanding. The integration of these seemingly opposite worlds creates a robust framework that transforms manifestation from mysterious to methodical. The dual nature of manifestation reveals itself when we recognize how our thoughts genuinely influence our reality. This isn't just spiritual rhetoric. It's supported by psychological principles that demonstrate how our subconscious mind drives behavior, and by quantum physics concepts that suggest observer effects on physical reality. By embracing this unified perspective, you gain access to manifestation techniques that work with your whole being, both logical mind and intuitive spirit. Understanding this science-spirit connection liberates us from limiting myths that have kept manifestation in the realm of impossible or the exclusive. You don't need special gifts. You don't need to abandon critical thinking. And you certainly don't need to wait for random luck to transform your life. What lies ahead in your manifestation journey is profoundly exciting. The coming chapters will build on this foundation, taking you from understanding to implementation. You'll discover precisely how to apply these principles through specific techniques that align your energy, clarify your intentions, and create the conditions for your desires to materialize. Imagine approaching each day with absolute clarity and what you genuinely want, confident in your ability to influence outcomes, and equipped with practical tools to navigate obstacles. This isn't a distant possibility. It's your imminent reality. The path of manifestation mastery isn't about bypassing life's challenges or escaping reality. It's about engaging more fully with life, understanding the subtle energies at play, and consciously participating in your own evolution. By honoring both the scientific evidence and spiritual wisdom, you access a balanced approach that yields consistent results. As we move forward, you'll learn to fine-tune your vibrational frequency, remove subconscious blockages, and implement daily practices that compound over time. These aren't just theories. They're tested methods that have transformed countless lives, and they're now available to you. Your manifestation journey has truly begun. The awareness you've gained about the true nature of manifestation, grounded in both science and spirit, has already shifted your perspective. This awareness alone begins to alter how you perceive possibilities and interact with your world. Trust the process. Embrace the paradoxes. Allow yourself to be both the rational scientist observing your thoughts and the spiritual being sensing subtle energies. In this balanced space, you'll discover that manifestation isn't something you do. It's something you become. Let's continue this journey together. Align your emotions. Amplify your manifestation. Have you ever set an intention with absolute clarity, only to feel as though the universe stayed silent? I know the feeling. You visualize, affirm, and act with focus. Yet something still seems to block the flow. What I discovered through years of study and practice is that manifestation doesn't respond only to thoughts. It responds to our emotions. Every emotion you hold, whether calm or chaotic, sends out a frequency that either draws your desires closer or pushes them farther away. The real magic begins when you learn to harmonize your inner world with the energy of what you want to create. When your thoughts, feelings, and intentions move in the same rhythm, life begins to meet you halfway. To support you in deepening this emotional alignment, I've partnered with Books for Growth to share a completely free resource that complements everything we've explored so far. It's a gentle guide called Emotional Intelligence in Social Settings, created to help you recognize and regulate the emotions that shape your energy each day. I see it as a companion for this journey, offering practical ways to bring your inner state into harmony with your manifestations. If you're ready to align what you feel with what you create, Emotional Intelligence in Social Settings is your key to transforming emotional awareness into the power that drives authentic success. Discover how to turn intention into reality and elevate the way you connect, lead, and live. Download your free copy today by visiting emotions.booksforgrowth.com to get started. That's emotions.books4growth.com. Again, emotions.booksforgrowth.com. Chapter 2: The Art of Steady Transformation. the hard truth about manifestation your guru won't tell you. When you think about manifesting your desires, do you envision instant results? Perhaps you've been led to believe that with the right thought, the perfect affirmation, or the most aligned visualization, your dreams will materialize before your eyes. This widespread misconception has created a generation of frustrated practitioners who abandon their manifestation practices when immediate results don't appear. The reality is both more challenging and more rewarding than the instant manifestation myth suggests. True manifestation is not a sprint, but a deliberate, structured journey that requires continuous effort and deep personal work. Like a master sculptor who doesn't create a masterpiece with a single chisel strike, your ability to manifest meaningful change develops through persistent, intentional action aligned with your deepest desires. Many seekers stumble because they misunderstand the fundamental nature of manifestation itself. When we approach it as a magical shortcut around life's challenges, we miss the profound transformation that comes through the process. The disappointment that follows can lead to abandoning the practice altogether, dismissing it as ineffective when, in fact, it was our expectations that were misaligned with reality. The journey of intentional creation. This chapter illuminates the path of steady transformation, a methodical approach to manifestation that honors both the inner and outer work required. We'll explore how setting crystal clear intentions creates the foundation for everything that follows. Without this clarity, manifestation energy scatters like light without a lens, never focusing enough to create meaningful change in your reality. Maintaining a momentum through consistent, actionable steps is equally crucial. Many manifestation attempts falter not from the lack of initial enthusiasm, but the inability to sustain effort when progress seems slow or obstacles arise. We'll examine practical strategies to keep your manifestation practice alive and vibrant, even during challenging periods of apparent stagnation. Perhaps most importantly, we'll reframe manifestation as a transformative journey rather than a destination. When you understand that the process itself reshapes your consciousness, aligns your energy, and evolves your being, you'll find value in each step rather than fixating solely on outcomes. The journey of manifestation changes you as much as it changes your circumstances, often in ways more profound than you initially imagined. Throughout this chapter, we'll dismantle the harmful myth that manifestation should be effortless or immediate. Instead, you'll discover how to embrace the natural rhythm of creation, working with the universal principles rather than fighting against them. The structured approach we'll explore doesn't make manifestation more difficult. It makes it more reliable, sustainable, and ultimately, more rewarding. The path of steady transformation invites you to become an active co-creator with the universe rather than a passive recipient of its gifts. As we move through this chapter, you'll gain practical tools to navigate this journey with greater awareness, intention, and effectiveness. The manifestation mastery you seek doesn't happen overnight, but through the consistent application of the principles we're about to explore. It becomes an inevitability rather than a possibility. The long road to dreams. Sarah sat at her kitchen table, coffee gone cold in the mug between her hands. Outside, rain tapped against the windows with gentle persistence. 3 months ago, she had taped a vision board to her refrigerator, filled with images of a corner office, a beachfront property, and the body of a fitness model. The glossy pictures now seemed to mock her. 6 months ago I bought that book, she thought, eyes fixed on the dog-eared manifestation guide propped against the fruit bowl. Visualize for 15 minutes daily and watch your desires materialize. It had promised. She had done exactly that, faithfully, along with affirmations and gratitude lists. Her reality remained stubbornly unchanged. The promotion went to Kevin. The savings account for the beach house held a paltry sum. Her body ached from 2 weeks of sporadic workouts before old habits reclaimed her evenings. The rain intensified. Sarah rose to close the window as water began to splash onto the sill. Her phone buzzed with a notification. Another post from that manifestation coach she followed, showcasing a client's overnight success story. Sarah's jaw tightened. She had spent hundreds on that coach's course, diligently following each prescribed step. The universe had not delivered its promised abundance. She returned to the table, pulled out a notebook, and began to write. Not affirmations this time, but questions. What concrete steps could she take toward the promotion? What daily habits would truly transform her health? What specific financial plan would build her dream home fund? The rain drummed a steady rhythm as she worked, erasing the fantastical timelines she had clung to, replacing them with measured goals and actionable steps. Something shifted within her. Not the magical instantaneous transformation she had been sold, but something more substantial. She thought about her friend Melissa, who had spent 5 years building her business before the overnight success everyone had celebrated. How many hours of unseen work, doubt, and persistent effort had laid the foundation before the visible results emerged? Sarah wondered how her life might transform if she approached manifestation not like a mystical shortcut, but as a sustained journey of aligning her deepest desires with consistent, deliberate action. The power of well-defined intentions. Setting intentions sits at the core of successful manifestation. Unlike vague wishes or fleeting desires, well-defined intentions carry the power to direct your energy towards specific outcomes. When you clarify precisely what you want to manifest, your subconscious mind gains a precise target to work toward. This clarity eliminates the confusion that often derails manifestation efforts and creates a direct channel between your desires and their physical realization. Imagine planting a garden without deciding what you want to grow. You might scatter random seeds, water inconsistently, and end up with an unpredictable mix of plants. Some thriving, others struggling. Your manifestation practice works similarly. Without clear intentions, your energy scatters across the multiple possibilities rather than concentrating on your true desires. The result is often frustration and disappointment rather than the abundant harvest you seek. Research in cognitive psychology supports this approach. Studies show that individuals who set specific, measurable goals consistently outperform those with vague aspirations. The process of redefining your intentions activates the reticular activating system, RAS, in your brain, which begins filtering information and opportunities aligned with your stated desires. This biological mechanism explains why you suddenly notice red cars everywhere after deciding you want to buy one. Your brain becomes attuned to your intention. The quality of your intentions matters as much as their clarity. Effective intentions are positive, present tense statements that evoke emotional resonance, rather than focusing on what you don't want. I don't want to be in debt. Craft intentions about what you do want. I enjoy financial abundance and freedom. This positive framing aligns with the universe's creative energy and prevents you from inadvertently manifesting more of what you're trying to avoid. Many manifestation attempts fail because people mistake surface wants for true desires. Deep intention setting requires honest self-reflection. Ask yourself, why do I want this? How will achieving this goal make me feel? Does this align with my core values? These questions help distinguish between ego-driven wants and soul-aligned desires. When your intentions reflect your authentic self, the manifestation process flows with remarkable ease and synchronicity. Writing down your intentions dramatically increases their manifestation potential. The physical act of recording your desires creates a commitment beyond mere thinking. Studies at Dominican University found that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them than those who don't. This written record serves as both a contract with yourself and a tangible reminder of your focus during moments of doubt or distraction. Well-defined intentions serve as an essential blueprint from which all manifestation results are built. Without this clarity, even the most diligent practice lacks direction and power. Maintaining manifestation momentum. Consistency forms the backbone of a successful manifestation. The most powerful intentions remain unrealized without sustained action to support them. This doesn't mean working tirelessly towards your goals, but rather establishing a rhythm of regular, intentional practices that maintain your energetic connection to your desires. Even small daily actions compound over time, creating momentum that carries you toward your manifestation. Have you ever watched a skilled potter at work? The wheel spins continuously as they shape the clay with patient, consistent pressure. Too much force disrupts the form. Too little fails to create the shape. Similarly, manifestation requires steady application of focused energy, not sporadic bursts of intensity followed by neglect. The wheel must keep spinning. Your practice must maintain consistency. Creating actionable steps transforms abstract intentions into achievable outcomes. Break down your manifestation goals into specific, manageable tasks that you can incorporate into your daily routine. If you're manifesting financial abundance, these might include daily visualization practice, researching investment opportunities, networking with successful individuals, or developing valuable skills. Each completed action reinforces your belief in the manifestation process and demonstrates your commitment to the universe. Many people underestimate the power of tiny habits in manifestation work. According to behavior scientist B.J. Fogg, starting with ridiculously small steps makes consistency possible. Rather than attempting an hour-long visualization session daily, begin with 1 minute each morning. Instead of overhauling your entire belief system at once, challenge one limiting thought per day. These micro-commitments bypass resistance while steadily reshaping your manifestation practice. Accountability significantly impacts your ability to maintain momentum. Research shows that having an accountability partner increases your chances of achieving goals by up to 95%. Share your manifestation journey with someone who supports your vision, or join a community of like-minded individuals. These connections provide encouragement during challenging periods and celebrate your progress, reinforcing your commitment to consistent action. The manifestation process naturally encounters obstacles and periods of apparent stagnation. Rather than interpreting these as failures, recognize them as integral parts of the transformation journey. When you hit resistance, adjust your approach rather than abandoning your practice entirely. This flexibility allows you to navigate challenges while maintaining the consistent energy needed for manifestation success. Tracking your progress creates a powerful feedback loop in your manifestation practice. Maintain a journal documenting your daily actions, insights, and any signs that your desires are manifesting. This record serves multiple purposes. It highlights patterns that enhance or hinder your progress, provides evidence of growth during discouraging moments, and reveals subtle manifestations you might otherwise overlook. The simple act of acknowledging forward movement, however small, generates momentum. What would become possible in your manifestation practice if you approached it not in a sporadic emergency measure, but as a steady, unwavering commitment to your most authentic desires? The manifestation journey. Quick fixes rarely create lasting transformation. Despite the popularity of overnight success stories, genuine manifestation unfolds as a progressive journey rather than an instantaneous event. Understanding this truth liberates you from the frustration of unrealized expectations and allows you to appreciate each stage of your manifestation process. The path itself contains as much value as the destination. Consider how a butterfly emerges from its chrysalis. The transformation from caterpillar to winged creature happens in distinct phases, each essential to the final outcome. The caterpillar doesn't simply wish to fly and instantaneously sprout wings. It undergoes a complete dissolution of its former self before rebuilding into something new. Your manifestation journey follows a similar natural progression, with periods of preparation, incubation, breakthrough, and integration. Each manifestation attempt teaches valuable lessons about yourself and the creative process. Failed attempts aren't really failures. They're feedback that refines your approach and clarifies your true desires. When something doesn't manifest as expected, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? What beliefs might be blocking my progress? How might this outcome serve my highest good in ways I don't yet understand? These questions transform disappointment into wisdom that enhances future manifestation work. The journey toward manifestation often reveals desires deeper than your original intention. You might begin seeking financial abundance, only to discover your true desire is creative freedom or contribution to others. These revelations represent evolution rather than distraction. By remaining open to the wisdom emerging through your practice, you allow your manifestation journey to guide you toward authentic fulfillment beyond your initial conception. The Continuous Transformation Framework. The Continuous Transformation Framework provides a structured approach to manifestation as an evolving process rather than a one-time event. This cyclical model acknowledges that true manifestation requires ongoing refinement and adaptation as you progress toward your desires. By moving through 3 interconnected phases: intention setting, execution, and reflection, you create a sustainable practice that builds momentum while remaining responsive to new insights. Phase 1. Intention setting. The first phase of the Continuous Transformation Framework establishes the foundation for successful manifestation. During intention setting, you clarify exactly what you want to create in your life through both analytical and intuitive processes. This phase begins with honest self-reflection about your deepest desires and values, ensuring your manifestation targets align with your authentic self rather than external expectations or passing whims. Effective intention setting involves defining your desires with precision and emotional resonance. Rather than vague aspirations, "I want more money," create specific statements that include measurable elements and time frames. "I earn $10,000 monthly through my creative work by December." This specificity provides clear direction for your subconscious mind while allowing the universe to deliver through multiple potential channels. Visualization practices significantly enhance the intention-setting phase. Spend time daily imagining yourself already experiencing your desired outcome. Incorporate all your senses to make this vision vivid and emotionally compelling. This practice strengthens neural pathways associated with your intention and aligns your energy field with the frequency of your desire, accelerating the manifestation process through psychological and energetic channels. Phase 2. Execution. The execution phase transforms intentions into tangible reality through consistent, aligned action. Here, you develop specific routines and practices that maintain your energetic connection to your intentions while creating physical pathways for their manifestation. Without this phase, intentions remain theoretical rather than embodied experiences. Effective execution requires breaking your intentions into actionable steps that you can implement daily. Identify the smallest possible actions that move you toward your desires. Then incorporate these into your regular routine. This might include daily visualization practice, affirmation work, practical skill development, networking, or other activities specifically aligned with your manifestation goals. Accountability systems prove essential during the execution phase. Establish methods to track your consistent action and maintain momentum when motivation naturally fluctuates. This might include daily checklists, progress journals, accountability partners, or regular check-ins with a manifestation community. These structures support your commitment during challenging periods and provide valuable data about your manifestation process. The execution phase also involves creating supportive environments that reinforce your intentions. Curate your physical spaces, digital consumption, and social connections to align with your manifestation goals. This might mean reorganizing your workspace, limiting exposure to content that triggers doubt, or spending more time with individuals who embody what you're working to manifest. These environmental adjustments reduce resistance and create conducive conditions for transformation. Phase 3. Reflection. The reflection phase completes the manifestation cycle through conscious evaluation and recalibration. Regular reflection prevents you from continuing ineffective practices or missing vital signs that your manifestation is underway. This phase transforms your manifestation practice from a rigid formula into an adaptive, intelligent process that evolves with your expanding awareness. During reflection, you assess your progress toward your intentions with compassionate honesty. Review your manifestation journal to Chapter 2: The Art of Steady Transformation. The hard truth about manifestation your guru won't tell you. When you think about manifesting your desires, do you envision instant results? Perhaps you've been led to believe that with the right thought, the perfect affirmation, or the most aligned visualization, your dreams will materialize before your eyes. This widespread misconception has created a generation of frustrated practitioners who abandon their manifestation practices when immediate results don't appear. The reality is both more challenging and more rewarding than the instant manifestation myth suggests. True manifestation is not a sprint, but a deliberate, structured journey that requires continuous effort and deep personal work. Like a master sculptor who doesn't create a masterpiece with a single chisel strike, your ability to manifest meaningful change develops through persistent, intentional action aligned with your deepest desires. Many seekers stumble because they misunderstand the fundamental nature of manifestation itself. When we approach it as a magical shortcut around life's challenges, we miss the profound transformation that comes through the process. The disappointment that follows can lead to abandoning the practice altogether, dismissing it as ineffective when, in fact, it was our expectations that were misaligned with reality. The Journey of Intentional Creation. This chapter illuminates the path of steady transformation, a methodical approach to manifestation that honors both the inner and outer work required. We'll explore how setting crystal clear intentions creates the foundation for everything that follows. Without this clarity, manifestation energy scatters like light without a lens, never focusing enough to create meaningful change in your reality. Maintaining a momentum through consistent, actionable steps is equally crucial. Many manifestation attempts falter not from the lack of initial enthusiasm, but the inability to sustain effort when progress seems slow or obstacles arise. We'll examine practical strategies to keep your manifestation practice alive and vibrant, even during challenging periods of apparent stagnation. Perhaps most importantly, we'll reframe manifestation as a transformative journey rather than a destination. When you understand that the process itself reshapes your consciousness, aligns your energy, and evolves your being, you'll find value in each step rather than fixating solely on outcomes. The journey of manifestation changes you as much as it changes your circumstances, often in ways more profound than you initially imagined. Throughout this chapter, we'll dismantle the harmful myth that manifestation should be effortless or immediate. Instead, you'll discover how to embrace the natural rhythm of creation, working with the universal principles rather than fighting against them. The structured approach we'll explore doesn't make manifestation more difficult. It makes it more reliable, sustainable, and ultimately, more rewarding. The path of steady transformation invites you to become an active co-creator with the universe rather than a passive recipient of its gifts. As we move through this chapter, you'll gain practical tools to navigate this journey with greater awareness, intention, and effectiveness. The manifestation mastery you seek doesn't happen overnight, but through the consistent application of the principles we're about to explore. It becomes an inevitability rather than a possibility. The Long Road to Dreams. Sarah sat at her kitchen table, coffee gone cold in the mug between her hands. Outside, rain tapped against the windows with gentle persistence. 3 months ago, she had taped a vision board to her refrigerator, filled with images of a corner office, a beachfront property, and the body of a fitness model. The glossy pictures now seemed to mock her. 6 months ago I bought that book, she thought, eyes fixed on the dog-eared manifestation guide propped against the fruit bowl. Visualize for 15 minutes daily and watch your desires materialize. It had promised. She had done exactly that, faithfully, along with affirmations and gratitude lists. Her reality remained stubbornly unchanged. The promotion went to Kevin. The savings account for the beach house held a paltry sum. Her body ached from 2 weeks of sporadic workouts before old habits reclaimed her evenings. The rain intensified. Sarah rose to close the window as water began to splash onto the sill. Her phone buzzed with a notification. Another post from that manifestation coach she followed, showcasing a client's overnight success story. Sarah's jaw tightened. She had spent hundreds on that coach's course, diligently following each prescribed step. The universe had not delivered its promised abundance. She returned to the table, pulled out a notebook, and began to write. Not affirmations this time, but questions. What concrete steps could she take toward the promotion? What daily habits would truly transform her health? What specific financial plan would build her dream home fund? The rain drummed a steady rhythm as she worked, erasing the fantastical timelines she had clung to, replacing them with measured goals and actionable steps. Something shifted within her. Not the magical instantaneous transformation she had been sold, but something more substantial. She thought about her friend Melissa, who had spent 5 years building her business before the overnight success everyone had celebrated. How many hours of unseen work, doubt, and persistent effort had laid the foundation before the visible results emerged? Sarah wondered how her life might transform if she approached manifestation not like a mystical shortcut, but as a sustained journey of aligning her deepest desires with consistent, deliberate action. The power of well-defined intentions. Setting intentions sits at the core of successful manifestation. Unlike vague wishes or fleeting desires, well-defined intentions carry the power to direct your energy towards specific outcomes. When you clarify precisely what you want to manifest, your subconscious mind gains a precise target to work toward. This clarity eliminates the confusion that often derails manifestation efforts and creates a direct channel between your desires and their physical realization. Imagine planting a garden without deciding what you want to grow. You might scatter random seeds, water inconsistently, and end up with an unpredictable mix of plants. Some thriving, others struggling. Your manifestation practice works similarly. Without clear intentions, your energy scatters across the multiple possibilities rather than concentrating on your true desires. The result is often frustration and disappointment rather than the abundant harvest you seek. Research in cognitive psychology supports this approach. Studies show that individuals who set specific, measurable goals consistently outperform those with vague aspirations. The process of redefining your intentions activates the reticular activating system, RAS, in your brain, which begins filtering information and opportunities aligned with your stated desires. This biological mechanism explains why you suddenly notice red cars everywhere after deciding you want to buy one. Your brain becomes attuned to your intention. The quality of your intentions matters as much as their clarity. Effective intentions are positive, present tense statements that evoke emotional resonance, rather than focusing on what you don't want. I don't want to be in debt. Craft intentions about what you do want. I enjoy financial abundance and freedom. This positive framing aligns with the universe's creative energy and prevents you from inadvertently manifesting more of what you're trying to avoid. Many manifestation attempts fail because people mistake surface wants for true desires. Deep intention setting requires honest self-reflection. Ask yourself, why do I want this? How will achieving this goal make me feel? Does this align with my core values? These questions help distinguish between ego-driven wants and soul-aligned desires. When your intentions reflect your authentic self, the manifestation process flows with remarkable ease and synchronicity. Writing down your intentions dramatically increases their manifestation potential. The physical act of recording your desires creates a commitment beyond mere thinking. Studies at Dominican University found that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them than those who don't. This written record serves as both a contract with yourself and a tangible reminder of your focus during moments of doubt or distraction. Well-defined intentions serve as an essential blueprint from which all manifestation results are built. Without this clarity, even the most diligent practice lacks direction and power. Maintaining manifestation momentum. Consistency forms the backbone of a successful manifestation. The most powerful intentions remain unrealized without sustained action to support them. This doesn't mean working tirelessly towards your goals, but rather establishing a rhythm of regular, intentional practices that maintain your energetic connection to your desires. Even small daily actions compound over time, creating momentum that carries you toward your manifestation.
I hope you are enjoying my audiobook so far. It would be a pleasure if you could let me know how you are feeling about this audiobook in the comments section below. We would greatly appreciate it if you could also like this video and subscribe to United Audiobooks to have access to more best-selling audiobooks in the future. Also, if you are interested in getting more free audiobooks, please click the first link in the description below. Now let us carry on with the next chapter.
Chapter 3. Clear Vision, Consistent Action. Why most people fail at manifestation, and how you'll succeed. You've tried vision boards that collect dust. You've recited affirmations that feel hollow. You've meditated sporadically when you find the time. And still, the life you desire seems just beyond your grasp, visible but frustratingly unreachable. If this resonates, you're not alone. The difference between those who successfully manifest their desires and those who don't isn't magical thinking or luck. It's the presence of two critical elements that most seekers overlook: crystal clarity and unwavering consistency. The manifestation journey resembles a radio dial seeking the perfect frequency. When your signal wavers through vague intentions or sporadic practices, the universe receives mixed messages. Clarity functions as your precise frequency, while consistency amplifies your signal strength. Together, they transform wishful thinking into tangible reality. Without them, even the most passionate desires dissolve into the ether of might-have-beens. Many approach manifestation with excitement, but falter because they haven't defined exactly what they want. More money becomes a nebulous goal lost in translation between your intention and universal energy. Similarly, the enthusiastic mediator who practices only when inspired creates energetic static rather than a clear channel. Your manifestation power exists in direct proportion to how specifically you can articulate your desires and how steadily you maintain your practices. The Clarity Consistency Matrix. What separates masters of manifestation from perpetual beginners isn't spiritual gifting or cosmic favoritism. It's their commitment to precision and routine. When you combine razor-sharp vision with unwavering daily practice, you create an energetic container strong enough to hold and nurture your intentions until they materialize. This matrix forms the foundation upon which all successful manifestation rests, regardless of the specific techniques employed. Throughout this chapter, we'll explore how to master precise goal-setting techniques that eliminate vagueness and sharpen your manifestation focus. You'll discover why a new car is an ineffective goal, while a pearl white Tesla Model Y with premium interior purchased by April 15th creates a manifestation blueprint the universe can actually fulfill. This precision doesn't limit possibilities, it accelerates them by creating clear, energetic pathways. We'll then examine how visualization techniques and daily practices like meditation and affirmations work together to strengthen your manifestation efforts. Consistency doesn't mean rigidity. It means creating reliable energy patterns that build momentum over time. You'll learn how to establish practices that feel supportive rather than burdensome, making consistency natural rather than forced. Finally, we'll identify the common patterns of sporadic effort that sabotage manifestation success. The inspiration-only approach, the when I have time syndrome, and the results or quit mentality all create energetic inconsistency that blocks manifestation flow. By recognizing these patterns in your own practice, you'll develop strategies to maintain steady energy when motivation fluctuates or results seem delayed. The path to manifestation mastery isn't about perfecting exotic techniques or accessing rare mystical states. It's about bringing exceptional clarity to what you desire and exceptional consistency to your energy practices. When these two elements align, manifestation becomes less mysterious and more methodical, less about hoping and more about knowing. This universe isn't withholding your desires, it's waiting for a clear, consistent signal. Let's ensure yours comes through loud and clear. The empty canvas of desire. The morning light split through the Venetian blinds in Jack Hemming's apartment, casting thin gold lines across his meditation mat. 42 days since he had begun his manifestation practice, and still the gallery position eluded him. He sat cross-legged on the floor, eyes closed, breath steady, while outside taxi horns punctuated the New York morning. Jack opened his eyes and stared at the vision board propped against his wall. Magazine cutouts and photographs showcased abstract paintings, gallery openings, and a business card mock-up with his name followed by Curator, Bowman Gallery. The board had seemed silly when his sister suggested it, but he constructed it anyway, part of his new routine. The images blurred as his mind wandered to yesterday's rejection email from the Fisher Gallery downtown. "Too general," he muttered, rising from the mat. He moved to the kitchen and poured coffee into a chipped mug. The liquid steamed, bitter and strong. "Too damn general." Jack had read enough manifestation books to recognize his mistake. He wanted success in the art world, a phrase so vague it could mean anything. The Fisher position had been an afterthought application, his desire scattered across too many possibilities. His phone vibrated against the counter. Alex's message read, "Still on for lunch?" Jack texted back a quick confirmation. He carried his coffee to the desk and opened his notebook. The pages contained daily affirmations, each one slightly different, inconsistent. Monday. I am a successful gallery curator. Tuesday. My artistic vision brings value to prestigious galleries. Wednesday. I attract opportunity and recognition in the art community. No wonder the universe is confused by his order. He needed precision, clarity. The blank page waited for his pen. Jack began writing, this time with surgical specificity. I am the new curator of Bowman Gallery, bringing fresh perspectives on postmodern expressionism to their fall exhibition. He wrote it 10 times, feeling the words carve themselves into his consciousness. Outside, clouds shifted, changing the light in the room. The coffee cooled beside him. He closed his eyes and visualized walking through Bowman's white-walled space, directing the hanging of paintings, seeing his name on the door. The image crystallized with unexpected detail, the smell of fresh paint, the sound of his shoes on the polished concrete floor, the weight of the exhibition catalog in his hands. The buzzer interrupted his visualization. Alex arriving early. Typical. Jack tucked the notebook away, but left it open on the desk. The repeated affirmation visible, specific, and clear. Something felt different this time. The scattered energy of previous weeks had coalesced into a single focused beam. The manifestation books all emphasized this transition point, when vague hoping transforms into precise, consistent creation. "Coming," Jack called, moving toward the door. His phone buzzed again with an email notification. Bowman Gallery. Subject line: Your application. Curator position. He paused, hand on the doorknob, heart suspended between beats. He hadn't yet applied to Bowman. They shouldn't know his name. What unseen forces might respond when a person finally replaces scattered wishes with focused, consistent intention? The precision of purpose. Setting clear goals is the cornerstone of effective manifestation. Without precise targets, our energy scatters like light without a lens, never focusing enough power in one direction to create meaningful change. Successful manifestation requires specificity, not just wanting more money, but defining exactly how much, by when, and for what purpose. This precision transforms vague wishes into powerful intentions that the universe can respond to with clarity. Think of your manifestation goals as coordinates on a GPS. When you enter downtown without a specific address, the system cannot guide you effectively. But when you input the exact street address, building number, and zip code, you receive turn-by-turn directions to reach your destination. Your manifestation works the same way. The more precise your desired outcome, the more direct your path to achieving it becomes. The quality of your goal setting determines the quality of your manifestation results. Research in cognitive psychology shows that the brain responds more effectively to clearly defined objectives than to ambiguous ones. When you articulate exactly what you want, your reticular activating system, RAS, the part of your brain that filters information, begins noticing opportunities aligned with your goals that you might have previously overlooked. The neurological process supports your manifestation by heightening your awareness of pathways to your desire. A well-crafted manifestation goal includes several key elements. It must be specific, measurable, aligned with your values, realistic yet ambitious, and anchored to a timeline. For example, rather than, "I want to be happier," a precise goal might be, "By December 31st, I will have established a daily 20-minute meditation practice that brings me a sense of peace and joy, as measured by my ability to remain calm during previously stressful situations." This detailed description gives both your conscious and subconscious mind a clear blueprint to work with. Without clarity, the energy you send out becomes diluted. Many people struggle with manifestation because they constantly shift their desires or maintain contradictory goals. When you declare, "I want a new job," but haven't defined what type of position, salary range, company culture, or work-life balance you desire, you're essentially asking the universe to guess what would satisfy you. Precision eliminates this confusion and accelerates your manifestation process. Precision also requires honesty about your true desires. Often, we set goals based on what we think we should want rather than what genuinely calls to us. Take time to question whether your manifestation goals reflect your authentic self, or if they're influenced by social expectations, family pressures, or outdated beliefs about success. True manifestation power comes from when your goals align with your soul's purpose, not someone else's definition of achievement. The language you use to frame your goals significantly impacts their manifestation potential. Phrase your intentions in the present or completed tense, as if they're already accomplished. Instead of, "I will find my dream home," state, "I am living joyfully in my perfect home with specific features." This linguistic shift helps bypass the subconscious mind's resistance and creates a stronger energetic match to your desired outcome. Many manifestation attempts falter because people overlook the importance of emotional precision. It's not enough to know what you want intellectually. You must connect emotionally with how achieving this goal will feel. Spend time daily imagining not just having your desire, but experiencing the emotions it will bring. The security of financial abundance, the joy of perfect health, or the satisfaction of meaningful work. These emotional frequencies become powerful attractors when consistently maintained. The most powerful manifestations occur at the intersection of precision and surrender. While clarity about what you want is essential, equally important is releasing attachment to exactly how it must arrive. Define your desired outcome with precision, but remain flexible about the path. The universe often delivers our manifestations through unexpected channels that our limited perspective couldn't have anticipated. The power of manifestation is directly proportional to the clarity of your intention. Vague desires create vague results, while precisely defined goals manifest with remarkable accuracy. Visualization, your inner workshop. Visualization is far more than a pleasant mental exercise. It's a fundamental tool that bridges your inner and outer worlds. When practiced with consistency and emotional engagement, visualization creates powerful neural pathways in your brain that begin shifting your perception, behavior, and ultimately your reality. The most successful manifestors dedicate regular time to visualizing their desired outcomes with all 5 senses engaged, creating a multi-dimensional experience that feels genuinely real to their subconscious mind. Your brain cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. This neurological fact explains why visualization works so powerfully for manifestation. When you consistently visualize yourself already having achieved your goal, your nervous system begins responding as if that reality already exists. Your thoughts, emotions, and even subtle behaviors start aligning with this visualized state, creating an energetic match that accelerates manifestation. Imagine your daily visualization practice as planting seeds in a garden. A single visualization session might plant the seed, but without regular watering through consistent practice, that seed cannot grow into manifestation. The most effective schedule involves short, daily visualization periods, typically 5 to 15 minutes, at times when your mind is most receptive, such as just after waking or before sleeping, when the boundary between conscious and subconscious is most permeable. What separates powerful visualization from daydreaming is the quality of your emotional engagement. Simply seeing mental pictures isn't enough. You must generate the authentic feelings associated with having already achieved your desire. Feel the gratitude, joy, security, or excitement as viscerally as possible. This emotional component acts as the fuel that powers your manifestation engine, transforming visualization from a mental exercise into an energetic broadcast that the universe responds to. Complementary practices like meditation and affirmations significantly enhance visualization's effectiveness. Meditation clears mental static, making your visualization space cleaner and more receptive. Regular meditation also strengthens your ability to maintain focus during visualization, preventing the mind from wandering or introducing doubts. Just 10 minutes of meditation before visualization can dramatically improve the clarity and power of your practice. Affirmations serve as verbal anchors that reinforce your visualizations throughout the day. When crafted to align precisely with your visualization content, affirmations continue the energetic broadcast even when you're engaged in other activities. For maximum effectiveness, phrase affirmations in the present tense. I am rather than I will. Include emotional words and make them specific to your desired outcome. Repeating these affirmations, especially when combined with the feelings you cultivated during visualization, maintains consistent manifestation energy. The most successful manifestors integrate these practices into unshakable daily routines. They understand that manifestation is not an occasional activity, but a lifestyle. By establishing a consistent schedule, perhaps meditating for 10 minutes each morning, followed by 5 minutes of visualization and affirmations, then brief affirmation check-ins throughout the day, they create a stable, energetic environment where manifestation can flourish. This consistency signals to both the subconscious mind and the universe that these desires are priorities, not passing fancies. Many people underestimate the importance of physical space in manifestation work. Creating a dedicated environment for your practices, even if it's just a corner of a room with meaningful objects, comfortable seating, and freedom from distractions, significantly enhances your ability to maintain consistency. This physical space becomes conditioned to support your manifestation energy, making it easier to drop into the right state of mind each time you enter it. The integration of visualization, meditation, and affirmations creates what might be called a manifestation ecosystem, a self-reinforcing cycle where each practice strengthens the others. Meditation creates mental clarity that enhances visualization. Visualization generates emotional resonance that powers affirmations. And affirmations maintain the frequency throughout the day until your next meditation. This ecosystem, when maintained consistently, creates an uninterrupted energetic broadcast that dramatically accelerates manifestation results. For those struggling to maintain consistency, using habit stacking can be transformative. This technique involves attaching your manifestation practices to existing daily routines. For example, perform your visualization immediately after brushing your teeth each morning, or practice affirmations while waiting for your coffee to brew. By linking these new practices to established habits, you significantly increase the likelihood of maintaining consistency, even during busy or stressful periods. What would change in your manifestation results if you treated your visualization, meditation, and affirmation practices with the same non-negotiable commitment that you give to eating or sleeping? Breaking the pattern of inconsistency. Inconsistency is the silent saboteur of manifestation success. When we practice sporadically, we create conflicting energetic patterns that cancel each other out, leading to frustration and stalled progress. Many people experience initial success with manifestation techniques, but fail to sustain results because they fall into inconsistent practice patterns. The energy required to manifest significant desires needs steady, focused attention, not the stop-start approach most people inadvertently follow. The first step in eliminating inconsistency is recognizing your personal patterns. Take an honest inventory of your manifestation history. Do you tend to practice diligently for a few days, then skip several? Does your consistency waver when initial results don't appear quickly enough? Do external circumstances easily derail your practice? Understanding these patterns provides valuable insight into the specific consistency challenges you need to address. Without this awareness, you'll continue repeating the same unconscious cycles. The brain operates on the path of least resistance. New behaviors, like daily manifestation practice, require significantly more mental energy than established habits. This explains why maintaining consistency initially feels so challenging. The key is understanding that this difficulty is normal and temporary. Research shows that new behaviors typically require 18 to 254 days to become automatic, with most habits forming around the 66-day mark. Pushing through the formation period is essential for creating sustainable consistency. Consider your manifestation practice like tending a campfire in the wilderness. A fire needs regular addition of fuel to maintain its heat and light. Adding wood once and expecting the fire to burn indefinitely is unreasonable. Similarly, practicing visualization or affirmations occasionally while expecting continuous manifestation results is equally unrealistic. Just as you would schedule regular times to add wood to your fire, you must schedule non-negotiable times for your manifestation practices. One primary cause of inconsistency is setting unrealistic practice schedules. When you commit to an hour of visualization daily without considering your existing commitments, you're setting yourself up for failure. Start with a modest, absolutely achievable commitment, perhaps just 5 minutes daily, and build from that foundation. A brief practice completed consistently creates far more manifestation momentum than elaborate sessions done sporadically. Environmental triggers often derail consistency more than lack of motivation. Creating systems that support your practice is more effective than relying on willpower alone. Place visual reminders in your environment. Set multiple alarms. Use technology to block distractions during practice time. Or enlist an accountability partner who shares similar goals. These external supports maintain consistency even when your internal motivation fluctuates. The perfectionism trap causes many to abandon practices when they miss a day. This all-or-nothing thinking becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of inconsistency. Instead, adopt a progress-focused mindset that acknowledges that perfect consistency is unlikely. When you miss a practice, simply return to it the next opportunity without judgment or the need to make up for lost time. This resilient approach maintains long-term consistency despite occasional lapses. Another hidden saboteur of consistency is result fixation. When we become overly focused on manifestation outcomes rather than the practice process, we're more likely to abandon our routines when results aren't immediately apparent. Shift your focus to appreciating the immediate benefits of your practices. Increased calm, greater clarity, or moments of joy, rather than constantly evaluating whether your ultimate desire has manifested. This appreciation of the journey sustains consistently through periods where external results seem slow to appear. The synchronization of clear vision with unwavering consistency creates the perfect conditions for powerful manifestation. When you precisely define what you desire, reinforce this vision with regular visualization and supportive practices, and eliminate the inconsistency that disrupts your energetic broadcast, you create an unobstructed channel for manifestation to flow through. Your clear intention provides the destination. Your visualization techniques generate the manifestation energy, and your consistent practice ensures this energy remains focused and powerful enough to transform your desires into reality. The Clarity Consistency Blueprint, your 7-step path to manifestation power. Clear vision and consistent action represent the backbone of successful manifestation. When you combine precision in your intentions with unwavering daily practices, you create the perfect conditions for your desires to materialize. Through the techniques we've explored in this chapter, you've discovered how to eliminate the common pitfalls of vague goals and inconsistent efforts that sabotage most manifestation attempts. Remember that manifestation isn't merely wishful thinking. It's a disciplined practice requiring both clarity of purpose and steadfast commitment. The strategies we've discussed provide you with practical tools to sharpen your focus and maintain the energetic momentum necessary for bringing your desires into reality. Let me share with you the proven framework that integrates everything we've covered into an actionable process you can begin implementing immediately. The PRISM method: precision, routine, intention, sustain, manifest. Step 1. Precision planning. 2 to 3 days. Transform vague wishes into crystal clear objectives using the SMART framework. Write down your desires with specific details, measurements, realistic parameters, relevance to your values, and concrete timelines. This precision acts as the foundation for all your manifestation work. For each goal, add sensory details of how achievement will look, feel, sound, and even taste. The clearer your vision, the stronger your manifestation. Step 2. Routine design. 1 day. Create a daily practice schedule that feels sustainable for your lifestyle. Your routine should include at least 10 to 15 minutes of visualization, affirmation recitation, and reflection. Select the time of day when your energy is most receptive. Many find that mornings or right before sleep work best. Remember, a consistent 10-minute daily practice outperforms an irregular 60-minute session. Step 3. Intention anchoring. Ongoing, 5 to 10 minutes daily. Begin each day by reconnecting with your written goals, feeling them as already accomplished. Enhance this process by creating a vision board or digital album of images representing your goals. Touch these physical reminders throughout your day to strengthen your connection with your intentions, embedding them into your subconscious mind. Step 4. Success tracking. Weekly, 15 to 20 minutes. Maintain a manifestation journal documenting your progress, insights, synchronicities, and emotional shifts. Each week, review what's working and what needs adjustment. This isn't just record keeping, it's active programming of your subconscious to recognize and amplify success patterns. Celebrate even small victories to build manifestation momentum. Step 5. Momentum protection. As needed. Identify and eliminate inconsistency triggers in your environment or routine. Notice when your practice falters and implement immediate countermeasures, whether that's setting reminders, adjusting your schedule, or creating accountability through a manifestation partner. Your ability to quickly address inconsistency will determine your manifestation success. Step 6. Alignment recalibration. Monthly, 30 minutes. Once monthly, perform a deeper review of your goals, checking that they still resonate with your evolving self. Refine your language for greater precision. Adjust timelines as needed. And ensure your daily practices still feel energizing rather than obligatory. This prevents the common pitfall of pursuing outdated desires that no longer serve your highest good. Step 7. Manifestation integration. Continuous. As results begin appearing, consciously acknowledge the connection between your clear vision, consistent practice, and these manifestations. This recognition strengthens your belief system and amplifies your manifestation abilities for future desires. Remember that manifestation is a skill that improves with conscious practice. The power of the PRISM method lies in its balanced approach to both the practical and energetic aspects of manifestation. By combining precise goal setting with consistent action, you create an unshakable foundation for bringing your desires into physical form. The clarity you establish eliminates confusion and doubt, while your daily practices maintain the energetic frequency necessary to attract your desires. As you move forward from this chapter, remember that the most successful manifestors aren't those with the grandest visions. They're the ones who maintain unwavering clarity and consistency. Your manifestation power grows exponentially when you combine laser-focused intentions with daily reinforcement practices that align your energy with your desires. Trust this process. Honor your commitment to clarity and consistency, and watch your manifestation abilities transform from occasional success to reliable creation. The universe responds not to sporadic wishes, but to the unwavering signal of a mind that knows exactly what it wants and maintains that knowing through daily devoted practice. Chapter 4. Harmonizing Emotions for Manifestation. The Hidden Switch. Why most people fail at manifestation despite their best efforts. The veil between desire and reality often feels impenetrable. You've set clear intentions, visualized your goals, and taken inspired action, yet your manifestations remain stubbornly out of reach. What's missing? The answer lies not in what you're doing, but in how you're feeling. The emotional landscape within you shapes the external world around you more powerfully than most realize. When your emotions contradict your conscious intentions, manifestation begins an uphill battle against your own internal currents. Throughout our journey together, we've explored the foundations of conscious creation, from setting clear intentions to understanding universal principles that govern a manifestation. We've examined the science of neuroplasticity, quantum field theory, and how your thoughts create electromagnetic frequencies that interact with the universe around you. But all this knowledge remains merely intellectual without emotional mastery, the crucial component that brings your manifestations to life. Emotional intelligence forms the bridge between intention and manifestation. When your feelings align with your desires, you create a coherent, energetic signal that the universe responds to with remarkable precision. Consider for a moment how different experiences feel in your body. The lightness of joy versus the heaviness of doubt. The expansion of gratitude versus the contraction of fear. These emotional states aren't just subjective experiences. They're energetic signatures that either magnetize or repel your desires. Internal conflicts create manifestation gridlock. You may consciously desire financial abundance while subconsciously harboring beliefs about money being corrupting or unspiritual. You might verbalize wanting a loving relationship while emotionally expecting betrayal based on past experiences. These conflicting signals create what quantum physics call destructive interference patterns, waves that cancel each other out rather than amplify your manifestation power. Without emotional alignment, even the most diligent manifestation practices yield disappointing results. The good news is that emotional mastery can be learned and developed. This chapter builds upon everything we've covered so far: your visualization practices, belief work, and action steps by adding the critical dimension of emotional attunement. We'll explore practical techniques for emotional intelligence that transforms internal resistance into powerful alignment. You'll discover how to identify and transmute limiting emotions without suppressing them, how to cultivate emotional states that accelerate manifestation, and how to maintain emotional coherence even amid external challenges. The emotional alchemy of manifestation. As we approach the conclusion of our manifestation journey, this chapter serves as the keystone that holds everything else in place. The techniques you'll learn here weave together the cognitive frameworks from earlier chapters with the energetic principles we've explored. When your emotions fully align with your intentions, manifestations shift from effortful striving to natural emergence. You'll experience what the ancient alchemists understood, that inner transformation precedes outer transformation. In the sections ahead, we'll explore 3 essential dimensions of emotional mastery for manifestation. First, we'll deepen your understanding of the critical role emotional and energetic alignment plays in effective manifestation, revealing why your emotional state matters more than your thoughts alone. Second, you'll develop practical emotional intelligence techniques to manage internal conflicts and negative states that have previously sabotaged your manifestation efforts. Finally, you'll learn how to consciously align your emotions with your goals, creating the receptive state necessary for manifestation to unfold with ease and grace. The distinction between struggling manifestors and masterful creators often comes down to emotional sovereignty. When you can consciously choose and sustain the emotional frequencies that match your desires, regardless of current circumstances, you activate the most potent manifestation engine available to you. Let's discover how to harness your emotional intelligence to manifest with unprecedented clarity, speed, and precision. The silent storms within. Marcus Sullivan sat at his kitchen table, a cup of black coffee steaming between his palms. Outside, October rain pelted the windows with gentle persistence. He closed his eyes and inhaled the bitter aroma, trying to center himself before the day's challenges began. The promotion interview loomed 3 hours away, and the knot in his stomach tightened. "I deserve this position," he thought, but felt the familiar undercurrent of doubt rise up to contradict him. His hands trembled slightly as he sat down the mug. The tremor betrayed the discord between what his mind declared what his heart believed. The rain drummed harder now, matching the quickening of his pulse. He remembered Dr. Chen's words from the last session. "Your greatest obstacle isn't external, Marcus. Your capabilities exceed the job requirements. The barrier is the misalignment between your conscious ambition and your subconscious beliefs about yourself." Marcus had nodded then, understanding intellectually, but feeling the truth of it now in his body. The tension across his shoulders, the shallow breathing, the acid creep of anxiety. The refrigerator hummed in the background as Marcus pulled out his journal and pen. He began to write, not his usual list of qualifications and rehearsed interview answers, but something new. "I feel fear," he wrote, acknowledging the emotion rather than pushing it away. The simple act created space between himself and the feeling. He continued, exploring the root of his anxiety. Not failure itself, but the meaning he'd assigned to the potential failure. The phone rang, interrupting his writing. His sister's voice came through, warm and clear. "You're going to be fine, Mark. Better than fine." She paused, and Marcus heard her children laughing in the background. "Remember what you told me last year when I was terrified about opening the gallery? You said I needed to make friends with my fear, that it wasn't my enemy, but a signal pointing towards growth." Marcus smiled, feeling a shift in his chest. His own words reflected back to him carried new weight. He thanked her, hung up, and returned to his journal with a fresh perspective. He wrote about his vision for the role, not from a place of desperate want, but from genuine alignment with his deeper values. He recognized how his emotional state affected everything: his posture, his speech, the energy he projected. The rain slowed to a drizzle as he worked, matching his calm, nervous system. Later, as Mark stood before his closet selecting his suit, he caught himself in the mirror. His reflection showed a man different from the one who awakened that morning. Standing straighter, eyes clearer. The emotional turbulence hadn't disappeared, but it had transformed into a steady current rather than chaotic rapids. He understood now that manifestation wasn't about perfect confidence or the absence of fear. It was about emotional integration, acknowledging all parts of himself and bringing them into harmony with his intentions. The sunlight broke through the clouds as Marcus locked his front door. He paused on the porch, breathing deeply. A neighbor waved from across the street, and Marcus returned the gesture with genuine warmth. Whatever the outcome of today's interview, he had already succeeded in something more fundamental, aligning his emotional state with his true capabilities. He walked to his car with steady steps, wondering, could the real power of manifestation lie not in eliminating our emotional challenges, but in developing the intelligence to transform them into allies on our journey? The emotional foundation of manifestation. Emotional alignment serves as the cornerstone of practical manifestation. When we examine successful manifestation practices, we consistently find that individuals who align their emotional state with their desired outcomes achieve results more frequently and with greater ease. This alignment isn't merely about positive thinking. It represents a fundamental energetic resonance between your internal emotional landscape and the external reality you wish to create. Think of your emotional state as the soil in which the seeds of your intentions are planted. Rich, nutrient-dense soil allows seeds to flourish effortlessly, while poor, depleted soil stunts growth regardless of the quality of the seed. Similarly, when your emotional foundation is aligned with your intentions, manifestation occurs more naturally and with less resistance. Research in neuroscience increasingly supports this connection. When we experience positive emotions like joy, gratitude, and anticipation, our brains release neurochemicals that enhance cognitive flexibility, creative problem solving, and pattern recognition. These heightened mental states directly impact our ability to recognize opportunities, make beneficial connections, and take inspired action, all essential components of the manifestation process. The vibrational aspect of emotions cannot be overlooked. Even emotion carries its own energetic frequency. Higher frequency emotions, such as love, joy, and peace, create a magnetic field that attracts similar energies. This isn't metaphysical speculation, but reflects the fundamental principle that like attracts like, a concept supported by quantum physics and energy science. Consider how differently you interact with the world when feeling confident versus anxious. When confident, you stand taller, speak more clearly, and engage more openly, all behaviors that increase your chances of creating positive outcomes. These external behaviors are direct manifestations of your internal emotional state, demonstrating how emotions translate into tangible results. Learning how to harmonize your emotional state with your intentions requires consistent practice. This doesn't mean suppressing negative emotions, but instead developing awareness of when your emotional state contradicts your stated goals. The gap between what you feel and what you say you want creates energetic discord that blocks manifestation. Your emotional state is the broadcasting frequency that determines what experiences you attract in your life. Aligning this frequency with your desires creates the optimal conditions for manifestation. Developing emotional intelligence for manifestation success. Emotional intelligence forms the foundation of manifestation mastery. At its core, emotional intelligence involves recognizing your emotions, understanding their triggers, and managing them effectively. This skill set becomes particularly crucial when internal conflicts arise that contradict your manifestation goals. Many people struggle with manifestation not because the techniques are flawed, but because the unaddressed emotional patterns sabotage their efforts below the conscious level. These internal conflicts often stem from childhood experiences, societal conditioning, or past disappointments. For example, you might consciously desire financial abundance while subconsciously believing you don't deserve wealth or that money corrupts. This contradiction creates an energetic stalemate where your conscious intentions push in one direction while your subconscious emotions pull in another. How do these contradictions feel in your body? Notice the next time you state an intention. Does your body respond with expansion and lightness, or contraction and heaviness? Your physical sensations offer valuable clues about hidden emotional conflicts. The body never lies, even when the mind attempts to rationalize or disguise its true feelings. Managing negative emotional states requires developing a compassionate relationship with yourself. Think of emotions as messengers rather than enemies. Anxiety, fear, and doubt aren't obstacles to eliminate, but important indicators highlighting areas needing attention and healing. When you approach challenging emotions with curiosity instead of rejection, they transform your barriers into bridges toward greater self-understanding. The practice of emotional regulation resembles learning to surf. Novice surfers fight against the waves, exhausting themselves in the process. Experienced surfers learn to read the water's patterns, position themselves strategically, and move with the wave's energy rather than against it. Similarly, emotional intelligence isn't about controlling emotions, but developing the ability to flow with their energy while maintaining your direction. Several evidence-based techniques can help develop emotional intelligence. Cognitive reframing involves identifying negative thought patterns and consciously shifting perspective. Mindfulness meditation creates space between stimulus and response, allowing you to observe emotions without immediate reaction. Journaling provides a safe outlet for processing complex feelings while revealing patterns that might otherwise remain hidden. Creating emotional congruence requires addressing limiting beliefs, those deeply held convictions that contradict your conscious desires. These beliefs often appear as always or never statements. I always mess up opportunities, or people like me never achieve financial freedom. Identifying these beliefs is the first step toward dissolving their power. Once recognized, you can systematically challenge and replace them with empowering alternatives. The integration of shadow aspects, the part of yourself you've rejected or denied, represents an advanced practice in emotional intelligence. These disowned qualities often manifest as triggers when you encounter them in others. By reclaiming these aspects through the shadow work, you remove significant energetic blocks to manifestation, while accessing previously untapped personal resources. Emotional intelligence requires consistent practice. Like physical fitness, it develops through regular exercise rather than occasional intense efforts. Daily check-ins with your emotional state, even for just a few minutes, build the awareness muscle that supports manifestation. Start by simply naming your emotions without judgment several times throughout the day. What if your greatest manifestation breakthroughs are waiting not in new techniques or rituals, but in healing the emotional patterns that have been invisibly shaping your reality all along? The Emotional Alignment Model, EAM. The Emotional Alignment Model provides a structured framework for harmonizing your emotions with your manifestation goals. This three-part system addresses the complete cycle of emotional intelligence as it applies to conscious creation, giving you practical tools to transform emotional obstacles into manifestation catalysts. Emotional awareness. The foundation of the Emotional Alignment Model rests on developing acute emotional awareness. This first component involves cultivating the ability to identify and understand your emotional patterns, particularly those that influence your manifestation efforts. Without awareness, you operate on emotional autopilot, allowing unconscious patterns to direct your energy and attention. Developing emotional awareness begins with regular emotional check-ins. These brief moments of self-reflection, ideally practiced several times daily, help you recognize emotional shifts as they occur rather than after they've already influenced your thoughts and actions. Simply pausing to ask, "What am I feeling right now?" creates the necessary space for awareness to develop. Physical sensations provide valuable clues to emotional states that might otherwise remain below conscious recognition. Tension in the shoulders, shallow breathing, or knot in the stomach often signals anxiety or fear before the mind consciously registers these emotions. By tuning into your body's wisdom, you develop an early warning system for emotional states that might derail your manifestation efforts. Journaling represents one of the most powerful tools for developing emotional awareness. The practice of externalizing thoughts on paper creates distance between you and your emotions, allowing for greater objectivity. Daily journaling about emotional states, particularly in relation to manifestation goals, reveals patterns and triggers that might otherwise remain hidden. Emotional regulation. The second component of the emotional alignment model focuses on developing the ability to manage and transform negative emotional states. Emotional regulation doesn't mean suppressing uncomfortable feelings, but developing healthy ways to process and transmute their energy. Cognitive reframing stands as a cornerstone technique for emotional regulation. This practice involves identifying negative thought patterns and consciously shifting perspective. For example, rather than seeing a setback as evidence of failure, you might reframe it as valuable feedback providing information for future success. This cognitive shift directly impacts emotional response. Energy-based techniques like emotional freedom technique, EFT, provide powerful methods for emotional regulation. This approach combines gentle tapping on specific acupressure points with verbal acknowledgement of emotional states. Research shows EFT effectively reduces stress hormones while calming the body's fight or flight response, creating a more balanced emotional state conducive to manifestation. Grounding practices offer immediate assistance during moments of emotional turbulence. Simple techniques like deep breathing, connecting with nature, or physical movement help restore emotional equilibrium when strong emotions threaten to overwhelm. These practices don't eliminate emotions, but provide stability from which to process them effectively. Energetic alignment. The third component of the emotional alignment model involves actively aligning your emotional state with your manifestation goals. This practice creates energetic coherence between your internal feelings and external desires, establishing the resonant frequency necessary to attract your intended outcomes. Emotional rehearsal represents a powerful technique for energetic alignment. This practice involves deliberately generating the feelings associated with already having achieved your desire. Rather than hoping for future happiness, you cultivate the emotional state of fulfillment in the present moment, creating a magnetic resonance that attracts corresponding experiences. Gratitude practice serves as another essential tool for energetic alignment. By regularly appreciating what you already have, you establish an emotional frequency of abundance rather than lack. This shift creates a receptive state where manifestation occurs more naturally because you're operating from fullness rather than emptiness. Visualization becomes substantially more powerful when combined with emotional alignment. Rather than simply picturing desired outcomes, focus on generating the authentic feelings associated with achievement. This emotion-enhanced visualization creates a complete energetic blueprint that significantly accelerates manifestation. The integration of these three components, emotional awareness, emotional regulation, and energy alignment, create a comprehensive approach to emotional mastery for manifestation. Each element builds upon and supports the others, creating a positive feedback loop where greater awareness leads to better regulation, facilitating more precise alignment. The dynamic nature of this model accommodates the natural fluctuations in emotional states that everyone experiences. Rather than requiring perfect emotions at all times, the emotional alignment model provides tools to work effectively with whatever emotional state presents itself. The flexibility makes the framework practical and sustainable for long-term manifestation practice. In practical application, the emotional alignment model transforms manifestation from a primarily mental exercise into a holistic practice engaging both mind and heart. This integration resolves the common challenge where intellectual understanding of manifestation principles fails to produce results due to emotional incongruence. The harmonization of awareness, regulation, and alignment creates a powerful emotional foundation that naturally attracts and sustains your manifestation goals, transforming internal conflicts into unified creative force and negative states into opportunities for growth, while establishing the receptive emotional frequency that magnetizes success. Emotion as creative catalyst. When emotions align with intentions, they become powerful catalysts for manifestation. Your emotional state directly influences your perception, decision-making, and the energetic signals you broadcast to the universe. Research in positive psychology demonstrates that positive emotions expand awareness, increase creativity, and enhance problem-solving abilities, all crucial elements in the manifestation process. The alignment process begins with an honest assessment. Many manifestation attempts falter because individuals focus exclusively on positive thinking while ignoring underlying emotional conflicts. Authentic alignment requires acknowledging all emotions, including uncomfortable ones, before consciously shifting toward states that support your goals. This honesty creates a solid foundation for genuine transformation. Consider how a musician tunes an instrument. Each string must reach the correct tension, neither too tight nor too loose, to produce harmonious music. Similarly, emotional alignment requires finding the precise frequency that resonates with your desired outcomes. This isn't about forcing artificial positivity, but turning your natural emotional state to harmonize with your intentions. Emotional alignment influences your physical presence in ways that directly impact manifestation. When emotions and goals align, your body language becomes more open, your voice more confident, and your energy more magnetic. These subtle shifts significantly affect how others respond to you, opening the doors that previously remained closed. Your nonverbal communication often speaks louder than your words when attracting opportunities. Think of your emotional state as establishing a home frequency, the energetic baseline to which you naturally return. While everyone experiences emotional fluctuations, your home frequency determines your default setting. By consistently practicing emotional alignment with your goals, you gradually shift this baseline, making supportive emotional states more accessible and sustainable over time. The receptivity created through emotional alignment enhances your ability to recognize and receive opportunities. Many people miss manifestation signals because their emotional state creates perceptual filters that screen out possibilities. Aligned emotions generate an open awareness that notices synchronicities, timing, and connections that would otherwise remain invisible. Techniques like emotional rehearsal help bridge the gap between current reality and desired outcomes. This practice involves deliberately generating the feelings associated with achievement before external evidence appears. By emotionally experiencing success in advance, you create neurological and energetic patterns that facilitate real-world manifestation. Your emotions serve as the energetic blueprint from which your reality takes form. Align them with your intentions, and the universe responds in kind. The emotional alchemy process. Transmuting internal barriers to manifest your vision. Throughout our exploration of harmonizing emotions for manifestation, we've discovered that our emotional landscape directly shapes our capacity to attract and receive our deepest desires. The relationship between your emotional state and manifestation success isn't merely coincidental. It's causal. When your emotional energy vibrates in harmony with your intentions, you become a powerful conduit for transformation. Step 1. Emotional awareness mapping, 5 to 10 minutes daily. Begin with a dedicated practice of emotional self-observation. Each morning or evening, create space to scan your emotional body without judgment. Journal about recurring emotional patterns, especially noting when specific emotions arise in relation to your manifestation goals. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now, and how is this emotion serving or blocking my manifestation process? This awareness creates the foundation for all emotional alchemy work. Step 2. Pattern interruption, 2 to 3 minutes as needed. When you catch yourself in a negative emotional spiral, implement an immediate pattern interrupt. This might be 3 deep belly breaths, speaking a powerful phrase out loud, I choose differently, or physically changing your environment. The key is breaking the automatic nature of emotional reactions before they gain momentum and interfere with your manifestation energy. Step 3. Emotional reframing, 10 minutes. Transform limiting emotional states through active reframing. Write down the emotion you're experiencing, identify the underlying belief feeding it, then consciously craft an alternative perspective. For example, transform, I'm anxious about manifesting financial abundance, into, this energy I'm feeling is my system preparing for expansion and new possibilities. Step 4. Embodied emotional alignment, 15 minutes. Engage in physical practices that shift your emotional state toward alignment with your desires. This might include visualization while in movement, powerful postures that evoke confidence, or dancing to music that embodies the emotional quality you wish to cultivate. The body-emotion connection creates powerful neurological pathways that support your manifestation work. Step 5. Emotional environment curation, ongoing. Deliberately structure your environment to support emotional states conducive to manifestation. This includes the people you spend time with, the media you consume, the spaces you inhabit, and the conversations you engage in. Create physical and social surroundings that mirror and reinforce your emotional manifestation goals. Step 6. Integration through celebration, 5 minutes daily. Actively celebrate emotional shifts and awareness breakthroughs, no matter how small. This creates a positive feedback loop that reinforces your growth. Each evening, acknowledge 3 instances where you successfully managed your emotions in service of your manifestation practice. Step 7. Emotional Mastery Review, weekly, 30 minutes. Once a week, conduct a comprehensive review of your emotional landscape and how it's influencing your manifestation process. Note patterns, improvements, continuing challenges, and insights gained. Update your emotional management strategies based on this review, constantly refining your approach. The transformation of your emotional world isn't an overnight achievement, but a practice requiring patience and persistence. As you develop greater emotional intelligence and alignment, you'll notice your manifestation efforts yielding more consistent, powerful results, often in unexpected and delightful ways. Emotional mastery represents the final essential piece in our manifestation journey. Throughout this audiobook, we've moved from establishing the scientific and spiritual foundations of manifestation to developing clear, intention-setting practices. We've explored the crucial role of inspired action and now completed our understanding with emotional alignment techniques. What makes these practices particularly powerful is their integrated nature. Your thoughts, emotions, energy, and actions must work in concert, like instruments in an orchestra, to produce the harmonious reality you desire to manifest. When emotional discord exists, even the most disciplined visualization practices or inspired actions will fall short of their potential. Remember that manifestation isn't about forcing outcomes through sheer will. It's about creating internal conditions where your desired reality can naturally emerge and be recognized when it appears. Your emotional state serves as the gatekeeper to this process. When you maintain emotional alignment with your desires, you naturally spot opportunities others miss and take actions that accelerate your journey. The path to manifestation mastery continues to unfold throughout your life. Each emotional challenge represents not an obstacle, but an opportunity to refine your alignment skills. Each manifestation success builds upon previous achievements, creating an upward spiral of expanded awareness and capability. As you move forward and continue your practice, trust in your capacity to create meaningful change through the conscious direction of your emotional energy. The universe responds not to what you say you want, but to the vibration you consistently embody. With your emotions now aligned with your deepest desires, you stand ready to manifest with clarity, power, and grace. The mastery you seek already exists within you. These tools have simply helped you remember and access what was always yours. Now, go forward and create, with aligned emotion as your powerful ally. Final words. As we reach the closing moments of our journey together, I'm reminded that endings are really just new beginnings in disguise. The principles and practices you've explored through these chapters aren't meant to stay confined to this audiobook. They're meant to become living, breathing elements of your daily experience. The path of manifestation is not a destination, but a continuous unfolding of your highest potential. What you've learned here isn't simply information to be consumed, but wisdom to be integrated into every aspect of your life. The true measure of this audiobook's value will be found in how these teachings transform your relationship with yourself, others, and the world around you. Let's take a moment to revisit the core teachings that form the foundation of your manifesting practice. We began with dismantling the myths surrounding manifestation, establishing that this isn't about magical thinking, but about aligning your energy, thoughts, and actions with universal principles. We explored the science behind manifestation, how quantum physics, neuroplasticity, and the reticular activating system all contribute to your ability to shape your reality. Your energy is the currency of creation. Through the practices of energetic alignment, emotional regulation, and vibrational raising, you've learned to consciously cultivate states of being that attract your desired outcomes. The power of precise intention setting, visualization techniques, and affirmation practices have equipped you with tools to communicate clearly with both your subconscious mind and the universe at large. Perhaps most importantly, you've discovered that manifestation requires a balance of surrender and action. The art of inspired action, the courage to follow intuitive nudges, and the wisdom to recognize when to push forward and when to release. These are the hallmarks of manifestation mastery. I acknowledge that the journey isn't always straightforward. You may encounter resistance, doubt, or periods where results seem slow to materialize. These moments aren't failures. They're opportunities for deeper integration and more refined practice. Remember that manifestation isn't about controlling outcomes, but about co-creating with life itself. Some of your greatest manifestations may arrive in forms you couldn't have imagined, bringing even more fulfillment than your original vision. Moving forward, I encourage you to approach your practice with both discipline and compassion. Set aside time daily to connect with your intentions, clear your energy, and align with your highest vision. Start small if needed. Manifest parking spaces before mansions. Synchronicities before soulmates. Each successful manifestation, regardless of the size, builds your confidence and strengthens your connection to your creative power. Create a manifestation routine that works for your lifestyle. Perhaps it includes morning visualization, midday energy check-ins, and evening gratitude practices. Experiment with the techniques that resonate most strongly with you, adapting and personalizing them to suit your unique energy and preferences. Remember that consistency matters more than perfection. Consider forming or joining a community of like-minded individuals who are also developing their manifestation abilities. Shared energy and mutual support can accelerate everyone's growth and provide accountability during challenging periods. Whether online or in person, surrounding yourself with others on this path can be profoundly empowering. I invite you to become a conscious observer of your own manifesting process. Keep a journal to track not just your successes, but also the patterns you notice. What states of being tend to precede your manifestations? What blocks consistently arise? This self-study will reveal insights uniquely valuable to your journey. As you move forward, remember that manifestation isn't separate from your spiritual growth. It's an integral part of it. The clearer your connection to your authentic self becomes, the more naturally your manifestation will flow. Your ability to receive is directly proportional to your capacity for presence, self-love, and trust in the benevolent nature of the universe. Now, as you reach the end of this journey, I ask you to take a deep breath and feel the potential humming within you. You already possess everything you need to create a life of extraordinary meaning, abundance, and joy. The universe is not outside of you. It expresses itself through you with each thought, each emotion, each action you take. Your manifesting power has always been there, waiting to be recognized and embraced. Today marks a new chapter in your relationship with reality itself. From this moment forward, approach each day as a co-creator, a conscious participant in the unfolding of your destiny. The techniques you've learned are not ends in themselves, but doorways to a more awakened, intentional way of being. Trust the process, honor your journey, and watch as the seemingly impossible transforms into the inevitable before your very eyes. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. What the mind can conceive and believe, the heart can receive and achieve. Your life is not happening to you. It is responding to you. In every moment lies the seed of unlimited potential, waiting for your conscious attention to bloom.
We appreciate you tuning in to one of our captivating audiobooks. For more immersive experiences, here is another audiobook we're certain you'll enjoy. Don't forget to show your support by liking this video sharing what you loved about this audiobook in the comments section below, and subscribing for more captivating audiobooks like this. Thanks for being a part of our audiobook community.